Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
It's fine, this sub is really fucking light.
Yeah.
You fucking cretin. Now go fuck your cousin, you weirdo. You finally made it onto the Zoom call.
Yeah, I have.
He's had a morning. He's had a morning.
Some technical difficulties there. My God. I thought it was just me. I said, the Wi-Fi's down. Oh no, what am I going to do? Texted you from my flat. And thankfully, what? Like the whole country, do you reckon? Or what?
No, well, this is a Down Detector. Is a very helpful website. And this is, I guess, a moral for life, really, if I'm being honest. Where you go, my internet's not working.
Yeah.
Oh, it's game over.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything's
Yeah.
ruined. There's literally, there's nothing I can do without internet.
No.
I can't go for a run. I can't go swimming. I can't do the washing up.
Yeah.
I can't do any of this, right? So you
Yeah.
think, day's fucked. What am I going to do? I can't play drums without Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then go on Down Detector, and you just search for your provider, and you go, oh, it's down for everyone. That's good. That's better. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Exactly.
Yeah. Share that
Yeah.
problem with all the other Now TV internet subscribers. Puts your mind at ease. Now, you had the coincidental thing of you're moving soon, and you've made a phone call to be like, I'm moving house. I want to transfer over. Coincidentally, the next day, it's not working.
Yeah.
And, you know, your mind does go, did someone fuck up?
That
You
was
know.
where my mind went, because I did do the call at work. Admittedly, I should have been working because there were things going on. But
Listen.
when
There's
you've been
not
on,
There's not a man, woman, child, animal alive who's not done personal shit on the clock.
Oh, yeah. And when you're 35, 40 minutes into that call and you keep being put on hold and then you're like, I'm not backing out now. I actually at one point said, sorry, is there any way, this all sounds great, we could pause this and I could carry it on? And she was just confused, like, what? Well, you can't do that. You're in now. You either hang up and you get nothing, or you wait till the end and you get everything you want, you know? And I was like, well, I'm going to... She didn't say that, but that was what was implied by her confused tone. And yeah,
How about I put you on hold for a change?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See how you like it.
Yeah, exactly. But I was very worried. But I've come to my studio where I used to do the pod, but the Wi-Fi isn't amazing here. So already I've seen it pop up. Your internet is unstable, and you were saying something and it kind of was a bit juddery. So I'm a bit like, let's see if we can get through this half an hour or whatever. But when you see everyone else is struggling, you go, oh, great. You know, it's like COVID. If I was the only person that got COVID, it would be way worse than, you know, the fact that millions got it as well.
Yeah.
Millions get it. You're like, oh, they're far healthier than me and they got it. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, Boris Johnson pops on the telly and goes, listen, we've got a problem. George, you've got to stay at home, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
If you see this man, stay away.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be a good lesson for everyone, really, COVID or no COVID.
Stay away from
If
me.
you see George, just
Yeah.
stay away.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a general rule for life. We had a gig on Saturday.
Yes, we did a gig together.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo, the Eggheads.
Where do we begin with this gig?
Right, a lot happened. There's a lot packed into one yokel wedding.
Let's start from the drive, because the drive was nice. Very easy drive, I felt, for you. Didn't seem like there was much traffic at all.
No, it was very smooth. Lengthy but smooth. Better than the drive I had the day before. But I'll park that.
Yeah.
Like a car. And
like a car and a barn.
Yes. And we'll continue with Saturday's gig.
Yeah.
Lovely drive. You made it quite clear you had some admin to do, so
yeah,
you know.
I did.
Yeah. You allowed me to update you on how I was before you cracked on Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'll ask how are you, but can I have got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask it out of politeness.
Yeah, we'll chat
I
for a
really
bit.
need to book an Airbnb for Beaconsfield ASAP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to text Dean.
Yeah, I did have to text Dean. There was a few other bits as well I had to do. And it seemed to take too long.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But if you're looking for an office on the road, no better than a 2013 Peugeot 3008.
Exactly.
Smooth ride.
It was a nice ride. Very high up seats. Felt like I was in a spaceship or something.
Yeah. One thing I will say, so travel along the M4 for about 60 miles. And the M4 for me is one of the boringest motorways, particularly in the southern half of the country, England, where here I live. And you drive along it, and it's very long and it's very boring. And it makes me think they really don't do enough of that. Like in Gavin and Stacey, how far Barry Island is to Essex. That's a long drive.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And they're doing it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Big old drive, that.
They are doing it willy-nilly. Yeah.
I'll just go to Barry Island.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even... You've got to go around the M25 a lot. You know, big old arch of that, and then a good whole stretch of the M4.
It's a very good point, because, that bit where Gavin gets his new job in Wales and hasn't told Smithy yet, and he's like, midweek game under the lights, you up for that next year, Gav? And he's like, well, we'll see. You know, he's saying that because he's thinking, well, if I finish a job in Cardiff at 5, I'm not going to make it to Tottenham Hotspur.
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no. You won't make it past the bridge.
Exactly. So anyway, let's crack on because we haven't got past the drive yet, and there's so much to tell. So we arrived and went into a barn.
Yeah, so it was on a country farm, like a country park farm.
A very much country farm.
Yeah.
I thought I'd seen a farm until I went to this place, you know?
And, you know, they had a sort of... I like to do a bit of research before a gig, like just scope out the venue on Google Maps, and just because usually the postcode is absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
So, I like to just see what we're walking into. I like to assess the battle arena. You can see it's like, it's a country park, country farm sort of thing where you can take your family and see all the animals. And I had this very map of the farm. It's very cartoony, like, here's where the pigs are and here's where the cows. Got there, it's like something from a fucking Saw film.
Yeah.
Very much just a farm.
Yeah, and really bleak. I think it didn't help that it was grey and rainy. But I thought if I lived here for a day, I'd be so depressed, you know? So depressed.
Yeah. So, anyway, we were playing in the function room, just a big barn, very big barn. But to get access to it, we had to reverse into a smaller barn named the Animal Barn. And we reversed in. There's animals. There's just animals.
Yeah, it really
Literally,
is. I mean, they're in pens, but still, there's a lot of animals.
Yeah, there's
a lot. 20 goats, 2 cows.
A lot of goats,
about
some
4
cows, sheep.
I think there was a...
I don't think the pigeon was part of it. I think the pigeon had just come in.
He just wandered in.
For a laugh.
He's like one of the birds on the Noah's Ark picture. Where he just sat on the elephant. Well, he's not part of it.
Cows don't look like cows. You got to use horses.
That was a good joke of the day.
I kept saying that.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great.
That was a nice start to the gig.
Because that's lovely, isn't it? Animals are great.
Yeah.
So
we got to stroke them and, whatever.
Yeah.
But then we went in, we set up. Well, we set up but didn't sound check. And quickly realised the people there... Okay, I'll tell the story from the toilet, the men's toilet. So I went in the men's toilet and there was a group of lads and one of them was about to have a piss at the urinal and all his mates were leaving and he's like, I can't it's hard to do the voice because I keep going into Welsh. But they were like, watch out for him. He's a kiddie fiddler, And then this guy started talking to me. He's like, they're fucking cunts. I'm not a kiddie fiddler, And then... I was chatting to him a little bit. He was asking about the band. He was like, I hear she's paid quite a lot of money for you. Like, I've gone into Scouse. And I was like, well, we're on an agency and there's 4 of us and we've driven about 1,000 miles. So, yeah. But I changed the subject quickly. I was like, are you having a good day? And he was like, He's like, well, the bride is my ex-missus. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, cool. Like, that's good of you to come along, you know? And he was like, well, I'm only here so I can smash the gaff up later. And I was like, wow. Like, is he being serious? Because a lot of people there, I don't know. Like, there's no nice way to say it. But I think the way I'll say it is, I think if you live on a farm by yourself, or maybe just with your partner or whatever, and the closest person is a mile away, you can kind of wear and do what you want and kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say a very local, a very local affair.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And when I mean that, London is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
High proportion of the people were probably related.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise that the bride was someone he was with before. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I think the partners that are shipped out by their parents to marry the boy from the next farm, and I'm pretty sure tractors and produce are involved in the deals. And I've never seen such a group of people with walking problems. Not even
I'm glad
age-related.
Ben Winty said it. Yeah.
So many people just didn't have a conventional walk. Some sort of injury, some sort of wobble, you know.
Yeah.
An interesting bunch, shall we say.
Do you know what it's like? It's like there was a meme or like a joke where it's like dating in London, and it's like you meet someone and you go on a date and it's like, hey, like, I really enjoyed tonight. It's like, yeah, me too, but I got like 5 dates coming up, and like, yeah, I'm pretty busy too. Okay, cool. Maybe see you around, maybe not, you know. That's dating in London. Dating in the middle of nowhere is like, hey, weren't you in the year below me at school? It's like, I think so. Okay, cool. Do you want to be married forever then? You know, and it's like, it's like, you know. Do we talk about the the couple we saw while we were playing?
We can do.
Because I don't want it to sound rude.
No, I know what you mean, but it was quite funny. You know, there was a young lady with leg tattoos.
Yeah,
and she was quite pleasant to thine eyes of onlookers, shall we say? You know,
no one's ever said that, but yes.
No, but considering the trash that was there.
No, I mean the sentence you just said. Divine eyes on onlookers.
But, you know, considering some of the rot bags that were there, that kind of, you know, was fairly normal.
Rude.
It was fairly normal. And we were playing, and there was a guy who was, let's say, not conventionally attractive.
He was about twice her age.
Bald with a mullet.
Yeah, bald, that's exactly it. It's Bill Bailey, but it was curly, you know?
And then we saw them sort of start dancing, and it's quite apparent they're together.
At first I thought, oh, is it like dad and daughter? I genuinely even thought that. Or like, you know, they're like really good mates, because they were sort of dancing, but like half dancing. It almost looked like she was like, hey, you know, like, I'll dance with Uncle
Yeah, you were my
Steve.
teacher in the barn when we learned about, you know.
Yeah, cows.
Maths. Yeah, and cows.
And milking. But then, suddenly, it got all sexual, I'd say.
Yeah. And we were both watching this, unaware we were both watching. We saw this. And then you just turned round to me with the exact face I had on, which was like, what? Really?
It was so
That's
good.
surprising.
Yeah, but what was great is when I looked around, you were still looking, and then you looked over at me, and it's like, we both have seen that, and it's horrible because I don't want to be rude, you know. Everyone,
No.
If it's love, it's love. It doesn't matter about age or how you look, but at the same time, it was a shock, you know. So yeah. And the food was fucking atrocious.
Oh God, some of the worst food ever had. I mean, it was a hog roast on a farm, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure if it was one of the farm's pigs.
Well, I did wonder that, yeah. Well, they bought it
But, you know, we went and got some, sat in this sort of back area, and started eating, and I put a roast potato in my mouth, and it was... I don't really like roast potatoes anyway, but that was abysmal.
I don't know how
It
to
was
describe
awful.
it. The
Neil
worst
described it as, Neil just went, he took a bite and he went, right, this has been cooked 2 days ago
Yeah,
and reheated.
yeah, he did say that.
And he kept eating. I was like, stop eating it. It's
Yeah.
shit. Stop eating it. It's rubbish.
It was the colour. So the colour of the inside of the potato was the same as the outside. And you think of a roast potato, it should be like golden brown on the outside and then like kind of like a light, almost white on the inside or a very light yellow. But the inside was as dark. Like the inside was
a
brown.
potato should not be grey.
No, no. And then the pasta. So let's go through it. Hog roast, roast
God.
potatoes, pasta, and salad. And the pasta was just in bowls. And you could just help yourself with a really small spoon. And that was annoying. But the pasta was sugary, like really sweet.
So sweet and sugary.
I didn't try
love
any of the
pasta.
salad. Yeah.
That was like...
That was awful. And the hog
Crap.
roast. Thing is, because I'm only newly eating meat again, and I was like, is this good? Like, I almost wanted... I was watching you three thinking, if they stop eating their hog roast bun, I'm going to stop it. Because I almost don't have a point of reference to be like, is this safe to eat, you know?
Yeah. Well, I thought the bun was the best bit because it was soft.
Yeah.
The meat, now they only had... You need a moistener for the hog roast. The only thing they had was apple sauce, obviously traditional. But I sort of... A bit of meat fell out of my hog roast and I thought, I'll just eat this bit of meat. I had to go and get a drink because I couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
So chewy.
Yeah.
Apparently the crackling didn't crack.
No. So it's
Overall,
just-
1
it's
out of
just
10.
lean.
And the
Yeah.
bun is carrying that one.
Yeah.
On its shoulders.
Yeah.
And the other thing that surprised me was Archie is like, I'm going to go to the bar and get drinks. Do you want anything? I was like, can I get an orange juice and lemonade?
Oh, yeah, that is
Which is
funny.
my go-to drink. It's so refreshing.
It's lovely.
And he went, what do you, like, what?
Yeah, he
2
didn't get
drinks, an orange juice and lemonade? No, orange juice and lemonade. They'll know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's my nan's
pro
favourite
tip,
drink, I
get
think.
yourself an orange juice and lemonade.
Yeah. I once ordered we once ordered a Coke for me and a blackcurrant squash for Tom at a restaurant once. And then we got 2 glasses of blackcurrant squash with a Coke in it. So they sort of put a bit of blackcurrant squash and then pour Coke on top. And they were like, here you go. Here's your Coke and blackcurrant. We were like, no, not in the same glass, you know. So, yeah, it was a bit mad. But, yeah, that's that. Oh, no,
we played.
is that?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Found the piggies. That was nice. Nice to go and see some pigs.
Oh, you're being rude again.
The only other thing... The only other thing is, and I'm sure a lot of musicians out there will experience this, but, you know, you often have where you load in and load out on a gig. If you're lucky, you get a separate sort of entrance exit. And you don't have to go through people. Now, this was sort of apparent when we got there, that there was a door that led out the front where people went out and smoked, and then we were sort of coming in the back way.
Oh, God, yeah.
Which was sort of via the toilets. Now, 2 things. One, the toilets got to the point where the state of them and the people, we just went and pissed in the field. Didn't want to go in there. And then you're loading out, and as soon as you start carrying a heavy bit of equipment, everyone seems to then just block the entrance.
Yeah, it's mental.
And then you're like walking through, and you're like, oh, excuse me, and they sort of move 4 centimetres.
Yeah.
And they sort of look at you, and then you get past another guy. You know, there's 4 of us bringing in gear, and at no point does any of them go, should we just go and stand over there?
Yeah.
Because they're clearly loading in a fucking band's worth of gear.
Yeah.
No, they're surprised every time.
Yeah.
I'm still coming with stuff.
Yeah, there is
Don't
more.
worry. Yeah, I'm still coming. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. This sub is really fucking light.
Yeah.
You fucking cretin. Now go fuck your cousin, you weirdo.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Should we move on?
Yeah. I'll say my drive back was actually quite nice in the end. I was a bit worried about it because you drove me back from Bristol to Portsmouth and I went, do I complete that drive in one night? And I did. And it was great. I went to the shop. Spent £9.10 on snacks and a drink. £9.10. I got a sandwich, well, a meal deal, basically, for £9.10.
£9. Did you go to the Shell?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But it was weird because I'd never done
Did
the
you have to use the window?
Yeah, I'd never done that before. I do it for fuel, but I've never gone, can I get a sandwich? And I go, what you got? And they're like, well, we got ham, we got cheese, we got, I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then he kept getting the wrong thing. I was like, can I get a coffee? He's like, yeah. It was like, that one. He's like, yeah, cool. I was like, no, it's the wrong one. Like, this is more trouble than it's worth. But
There's nothing worse than when you're at the night window, someone's in front of you, and they go, "Oh, can I get a Twix?" And first of all, you go, "Legend, yeah, it's the best chocolate bar."
Yeah.
And then they go and get a Twix, and when the person comes back, they go, "Oh, and a Red Bull."
Oh, yeah.
Think about it all.
Yeah.
And send the poor bloke on one journey.
Yeah.
You are fucking annoying.
Exactly.
9.10 for a meal deal. Wow.
Yeah, that was a bit mad. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, brilliant though. Totally worth it. Do you know what I mean? I was eating the sandwich. I was going, that was worth it. That was after the.
What was in the
meal I had earlier.
sandwich?
It was just cheese and onion. You know, it was really just heavy, congealed cheese and onion mix. But it's so dense. But it's like, oh, this is when you're hungry.
Did they have
it's
that
just
on the
like
packaging? Heavy and congealed. Is
heavy
that
and
sort of
congealed,
good?
dense paste. Yeah, it's just paste. You know. Yeah, I don't know what's in this, but I love it. Anyway, that's enough about that. What you got?
Well,
You got some bits?
I'll just say the day before I had a gig in East London, north of the river. Awful drive, as we knew it would be, because driving to East London from Hampshire, it was never going to be great. Your options are you either go through up the A3 all the way into South London,
Big time.
or you go M25 and round. Friday traffic, afternoon, it was raining. Quickest route was through town, so went up there. All was fine, really. All was fine. But then, to avoid the congestion charge, we got sent down more sort of southeast. And then sat-nav was like, I'll go through Rotherhithe Tunnel. I didn't really know that, though, at the time we got to it. I was like, it's got a 2 metre height restriction. We were in a higher van. And in front of us, a bigger van started to go down it and then reversed and changed its mind. And I was like, I don't know if this van's 2 metres. What do I do? I'm not risking it. So I bailed from going down it, which then sent us all the way through Greenwich, Blackwall Tunnel. And then we got there. So it took 3.5 hours.
It's mental, isn't it? It's so long.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So we were a bit late. Didn't really matter. But it was a weird gig, man. It was a really nice venue right on the sort of riverfront. I got a photo I'll send you. Show what a lovely view. Right opposite the O2 and Canary Wharf. It's lovely. The gig itself, it was a big room. The wedding, some reason it didn't work. It was a very London wedding. But there's lots of people from different factions, and clearly the bride didn't give a fuck about the pop punk. It was the groom's choice to have us. Just never worked. We had a good run of good gigs, couple of duds with late nights, but money in the tin, dreams in the bin.
Well, exactly.
As I always say.
I'll say about my gig on Friday.
Oh yeah.
I use my big kit because I'm moving out of the studio I'm in, and I'm going to keep my big kit at my parents' house. And I thought, do you know what? You can use it and then take it back there. And it's very strange to play on a big kit after playing on my Gretsch Catalina. I'll tell you how I describe it. You kind of like, when you're playing on a big kit, you can feel like you can hit it harder. So I think with this Gretsch Catalina, because it's small and I've got my Yamaha lightweight stands, you know, sometimes you're playing in small rooms and you don't need to rim shot it and you don't need to hit it, play to the room you're in. So I've been doing that. But with this gig, it was outdoors. It was in a marquee, but, and suddenly it was just like, oh, this is big and this is heavy duty stuff. Big stands, big bass drum. And so I'm like, I'm not going to tap the snare like I would with the Gretsch. I'm going to whack it. Do you know what I mean? And it was different. And I was like, was it always this big? Like the kick drum, I was like, was this kick drum always this? This is mental. And I don't miss lugging it around at all. Even the hardware case, I was like, this is fucking insane. Like, you really have to, you can carry it with two hands, but not for long, whereas the lightweight
it's the famous phrase, isn't there? Once you go Yamaha Crosstown, you never go back.
I don't think you could ever go back. No, my God, no. But yeah, the wedding was good. They were just up for it, mosh pit. The groom was up in the air. He got a fire extinguisher out. It was very funny. And me and Ox had exactly the same pair of shoes, which aside from Converse, or Vans, how often do you have like the same brand of Nike shoes? You know what I mean? Like I was like, this is fantastic.
I'm surprised more people don't have the same clothes.
It's weird, isn't it? It is
because considering you go to like a shop,
yeah,
and there's 20 designs of t-shirts in H&M in a city. Never you buy one, never see anyone.
No,
never see anyone with the same shirt.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like there's enough places.
No,
I mean there clearly are.
Yeah,
but it's not like there's a million t-shirts in H&M.
Oh yeah.
You know, every 6 months they just change which US city they've got on them. You know, we've had the LA phase, we've had the New York, and then they'll be like, oh, Cincinnati, and everything's just got Cincinnati on it. Oh, Cincinnati college basketball. You know, fuck off, you're from Reading.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean?
Exactly. Go over yourself. No, but it's true.
So I agree. Yeah. I'll tell you though, me and Ben Corner, same hat.
Yeah.
Same hat. Yeah.
That's good.
He said, you got the same. I got a beanie.
Yeah.
It was my dad's beanie. I thought it was quite nice actually. I'll take my dad's beanie. And Ben Connor's like, same hat. And I didn't want to tell him it was my dead dad's hat.
No.
Because he might be like, he's bought the same hat as a 60-year-old man. You know? Or sometimes you just don't want to bring the mood down. Oh, you got a new car? Yeah. 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 Just leave it there. Yeah. Is that a new coat? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a new phone? Yes. Yeah. Have you got a new MacBook Pro? Yeah. Have you got new AirPods? Yes. Have you got a new iMac? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Jesus.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks for investing in tech.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not going to get that out of
George,
my mum. From my mum, I'm just going to get some watercolours and some clay for modelling little teapots or something.
Do you want a couple more bits to fit?
Yeah, go on.
You hear me?
Go on. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just moving about.
Right, a couple more bits. Right, number one. Choose my drums on sizes and the wood and that sort of shit. The eye will see what it sees and love what it sees. There's a new Tama kit with a new finish. I don't know if you've seen it, George. I'm going to send it to you right now. Graham Russell have got 4 of these coming in. I think they've all sold. Tama Star Classic, mate. Walnut Birch, yeah. In the limited edition Nebula Pearl Fade.
Wow.
But look at that.
That
is delicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like a wizard's kit.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what it sounds like.
No, I mean, it should sound awesome because I do think it's cheap. But that's a lovely finish, isn't it?
That is a lovely finish.
That's nice.
Wow.
What else have I got? Yamaha, yeah. They make drums, pianos, and motorbikes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bought a motorbike. Is there anything else I can help you with? I don't suppose you sell pianos, do you? Funny you should say that. So it's not
I'm
uncommon.
also struggling with my heavy cymbal stands. Sorry, carry on.
It's not uncommon for brands to do different things, maybe that you might not think they do. Have you seen the new Zildjian headphones?
No.
So Zildjian have announced or released, I'm not quite sure, Alchemy headphones. Obviously they've got the Alchemy kit. So my guess is this is to provide headphones for people who purchase their new electronic drum kit, the Alchemy. But they're being marketed as just general headphones.
Cool.
Like in the promo video, there's like a lady doing her admin, and she's wearing the Zildjian headphones.
Yeah.
They're like big over-ear headphones. There's a lovely lady having a run. She's running. She's got these she's got these Zildjian headphones on. Let me have a look. I had it on the old website, right? I don't know how much they cost. They come in 3 colours, black, blue, or sort of gold. But what they have is, right, so they've got noise cancellation. Sure. Who hasn't? That's number 1 on the list if you're doing headphones these days. Bluetooth. Sure, of course. But these have, right, you pair them up with the Zildjian app and they tune the headphones to your hearing
Wow.
for each ear.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. And then apparently they got a 45-hour battery life.
It's pretty good.
That's long, isn't it? I mean, not compared to a year. A year's way longer. But what else did I notice about them? But they look quite nice. But they've got a play-along mode, which features 50% drum dampening.
Right.
That's what it says, allowing you to hear your drum kit while playing to music. So I don't know if that's some sort of like semi-noise cancellation, but it allows you to hear your drum kit.
Maybe.
Or does it reduce drum kit in tracks so you can hear it? Not
That would
quite
be
sure.
cool.
But look, she's just doing her admin
Yeah.
with a big pair of the Zildjian
She looks mental wearing them. Way too big.
headphones on. Let me see if I can see how much they are.
While
Don't
you look
know.
that up, I'll ponder the question. Do you think they're branching out?
$400. There we go.
Fair enough. Do you reckon they're branching out too much? Do you reckon they'll become too saturated and spread themselves too thin? Much
Potentially,
like
potentially.
that beauty company. I can't remember what it was called, but it was for old people, basically. It wasn't for old people, but there was like a skincare company that only people over the age of 70 used, you know? They were like, let's try and involve the young people. Let's get the young people involved. And then they lost their old demographic. And then the young people were like, actually, I'm not that fussed. And then they went under. You know what I mean? Like, what if Zildjian start doing, I don't know, like ready meals or something. And then all the drummers are going, well, I don't, no, that it's not even that nice, this sandwich. You know what I mean? I don't want this. Like, just stick to cymbals. You know?
The Zildjian Alchem Eat.
Very good. There you go. It's almost like I set you up for that. Imagine reading that back on the transcript. Should we mention
God,
that?
the transcripts. So I just saw last week's episode came out, and I just went on it, hit play for 20 seconds just to get the stats right. But then I scrolled down. I just checked the credits as well, make sure that's what coming. And then I saw it's got a fucking transcription. It's got like a auto-generated transcription. And just reading a bit back, I was like, this is surreal. Seeing it's like, because we joked about it being scripted, it's like there's a script.
Yeah.
It doesn't get it word perfect, obviously.
It's pretty close. I was surprised.
The chocolate bar chat was quite amusing.
Yeah.
In written down format.
Yeah.
But no, going back to Zildjian, I mean, someone's obviously, at the helm is like, we got to tap it. We got to go for this market, this electronic market. Wouldn't surprise me if they brought out some kind of, maybe they already have, I don't know, but some kind of something to rival the Roland SPD, something like that.
Yeah, no.
But you kind of think, why didn't they just stick to releasing a kick-ass electronic cymbal range? But they've gone with the shells, they've gone with that. They're obviously now, well, if you're playing electric drums, you're going to want to be able to hear it. Let's get some Zildjian headphones out.
Do you know what
there.
it's like? Here's the way I see it. So hard case are like, we're not doing any of the stuff that we shouldn't be doing. We're not going to
guitar, fuck off.
Yeah, no. This
Fuck
is our
off.
we know our lane. Whereas Cadbury, when that was taken over by American company Hershey's, everyone went like, oh, that's going to be shit. Hershey's is nowhere near as nice as Cadbury. And then it turned out it was the best thing ever because they were like, hey, do you want some Oreo in your chocolate? How about some Dime? Do you know what I mean? And then they switched it up and made it mental. So, it's interesting. Is it better to stay in your lane as Zildjian and just do cymbals? Or go, actually, we got a solid product. No one's going anywhere. They love our chocolate / cymbals. Let's expand. And people will still come for the cymbals. But, you've also made a
car.
I was gonna say,
here's the Zildjian car.
I was going to say a pack brat.
Perfectly
for some
fits
reason,
a drum kit in.
Yeah, for some reason, pack brat popped into my head. Imagine if Zildjian took the pack brat idea now. Jordan, if you're listening, that'd be awful, wouldn't it?
But yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting. Now, George, to finish up.
Yeah.
There's important days in a man's life or a woman's. The day he's born. His first day at school.
You're not 40 today, are you? Have I forgotten?
No.
Okay.
No, you're okay. His first kiss. Yeah. His first driving lesson. His first beer.
Yeah.
His first,
Yeah. Tommy Tank.
His first day at work.
Yeah.
His graduation. The day... I can't think of any more.
No,
his
these are
first
good, though.
football match.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
His first house. A day that commonly gets left out of that topic is the day he gets to buy a new vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Today was that day for me.
What did you get?
Right.
Oh, God.
Backstory.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No. No. So, at the studio,
Yeah.
you know this.
Yeah.
I hoover a lot, boy.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of hoovering needs to be done, right? I go through hoovers like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Now, the Henry, I've had 2 Henrys,
Mm.
lasted a long time, absolute workhorses of the vacuuming community, but eventually something goes wrong. Now, I could go for another Henry, sure. But they're quite cumbersome.
Yeah.
And they have a cord that you have to plug in, and you've got to go in lots of different rooms. Now, I've had a Dyson at home, one of the cordless upright ones, the ones, slimline, sort of that sort of thing. Brilliant. Absolutely love it, right? I've had that for a long time, probably nearly like 9 years or something. Now, the Henry broke. I had another backup Hoover, which was actually a Hoover, the brand, and it was a sort of Dyson copy. It was cheap. Awful. Fucking rubbish. So I've been using that at work, and it does my fucking head in. It makes my life horrible. Yeah. Sure, there's other things that can make your life horrible, but this is one of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you know what? Rather than buy a nice new Hoover for the studio, I'm going to buy a nice new Hoover for me, and then take my current Dyson and donate that to the studio.
Right.
So it's an excuse to buy, because I don't want to spend loads of money on a vacuum for just the studio, because it's going to get a lot of use.
Yeah.
Buy a nice one for me, and then the studio can have my old Dyson. Did my research in it, popped down to Curry's, got myself a Dyson V10, total clean, mate. Is a beast.
Is it? You looked to the left when you said that, which means...
I looked to the left because I can see it.
Yeah.
Is
it
I
on
took
your
the
wall?
old wall mount off, and obviously the new Dyson wall mount's the same fixings and screws in it. So just got that up there, got it charging, got it assembled. It's a bit different. It's a little bit bigger, but yeah,
Good for you.
absolutely chuffed with that, mate. Chuffed with that.
Why not? Yeah.
And looking forward to giving it a good old test run around the flat. Might just spill some shit for a laugh.
Yeah, get the tortoise
Oops,
to
I
shit
dropped
everywhere.
the sugar.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've knocked the rice over.
Yeah.
Oh, the pasta's too big. Pasta's too
pasta's
big.
too big.
You won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get there.
Oh, I've dropped this
Pick that
nuts
up
and
manually.
bolts. No, not that.
No, don't do that. It'll fuck the
It
mechanism
would make
up.
that noise. Or you could go. I'll tell you what you could do. Go get a really long doormat, and then go into the woods, get your shoes all muddy, and then come into your house. Just walk mud everywhere, all over this doormat. Just really just fuck it up. Leave it a day, then it all dries, and then hoover that dried mud, and you'll get that lovely crackle. Do you know what I mean?
The crackle.
You know? I had that at the old flat. That was the best thing about going on a walk, in the mud. The next day, you get to hoover it up. Oh, Christ.
Well, just to stick on that topic, you were at the gig we
mud
did,
crackle.
incredibly keen to put your foot up on my Roland.
Yeah, I know. And every time I
bass
did
drum.
it, I was like, trying to be careful because I thought, because I knew it would sort of upset you a little bit.
And the fact that we're on a farm where the chances we'd walked in
Yeah,
shit
this is true, yeah.
were high.
Yeah, I did do
It's
it.
fine. I knew you were doing it with, you were still keeping most of the weight on your back leg.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you were still playing most of the notes correctly. Yeah. Which isn't always a given if you get me on bass.
No, do you know what? I played like absolute shit at that gig. I had two moments, right, where I just think, oh, fucking hell, I'm better than that. One, Sweet Home Alabama,
Yeah.
you don't play it that often.
Yeah, that was interesting from you.
I just had a moment where it was almost like a mini stroke, where my limbs just went to jelly and just stopped working. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And you just can't, and you're like, oh, but the crowd was giving us nothing. The inbred crowd weren't doing nothing. And you're just like, oh, bugger this.
Yeah.
And then just don't look back in anger. I was just absolutely off in no man's land. No man's land. And
But
just,
it was funny though.
end of chorus one, it's a bar shorter, isn't it? And I just didn't do it. And I was like, oh,
I can't remember if that was that song, but you tried to fill in one song, and I sort of was like, that was interesting. I looked round and was laughing. Maybe it was
that one, yeah.
And then I looked round.
I just thought
you tried it again.
I'm just gonna,
and it went wrong again.
I just thought I'm going to try this fill, but I want it to kind of go ding ding bang ding, like snare kick, hi hat bark,
yeah,
and then a ride cymbal bow, and it was like I could dig around because no one's. I'll just try it. I sort of did it. It didn't really work, so I was like, I'll try it again in another song. And
it's okay.
So that's the thing. It's a weird balance because, no one really gave a shit at that wedding, but some people danced, but you kind of can't help feel, but like, this is work, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no, like we do that Horsham gig and people are really liking it. Gives you something. They've got to feed you.
Yeah.
Not just shit potatoes, but atmosphere.
Yeah.
And the majority of weddings you do are like that. They're you just play, and some people care, some people don't. But then I just got a bit sloppy with it.
Yeah.
A bit sloppy with it.
Yeah.
I was tired. I didn't really care. But it's not an excuse.
No.
So I was a bit like, oh, fuck's sake. At least I'd should get those basics right. But anyway, that'll do.
Yeah, that'll definitely do.
Get in touch, follow the Instagram, but after I've done it, I'm off to London on Friday, innit? Again, going to a Batman exhibition.
Nice.
Cheers. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.